I'm going to read you out a quote from boxingscene.com. Another name in the running to face WBA super middleweight champion Andre Ward on June the 20th, according to a report in the Daily Mail, is Paul Smith. Smith is coming off 2 hard-fought decision losses to WBO super middleweight champion Arthur Abraham. The paper spoke towards trainer Virgil Hunter, who tells them the fight might be a done deal. Very, very exciting news indeed. And I guess this goes to show the, the value of being on these big events, the value of being involved in these title fights, even if it eventually ends in loss. I imagine Paul Smith is probably looking at a bigger payday for these Andre Ward fights, despite the fact, sorry, my phone's going mental, despite the fact that it's, a non-title fight. I would imagine he's potentially looking at a bigger payday than for either of the Arthur Abraham fights, And fair play to Eddie Hearn. I guess Paul Smith's been a kind of guy, he's been cruising along at British level. And even though he hasn't quite made the top grade in terms of winning these world level fights, he's probably going to be retiring a wealthy man. He's got a Sky gig with Hearn doing the commentary, doing the broadcasting. He's been involved in 2 fights with Abraham for the belt. Now he's going to be fighting Andre Ward out in the States. Clearly, it's a very tough ask for Paul Smith. Andre Ward is several levels above Arthur Abraham. In my opinion, Andre Ward is clearly the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. We could say less so with the inactivity, but if we say a premium Andre Ward, I'd say he's clearly the number 2. And I guess the difficulty for Paul Smith is because, in my opinion, he's got a lack of punching power. He doesn't really have a puncher's chance. I mean, if, for example, I'm trying to think of a good example. George Groves, for example. I wouldn't back George Groves' chance against Andre Ward in terms of outpointing Andre Ward. But the power Groves possesses, you'd never completely rule Groves out of the fight, because in boxing it only takes one punch to change everything. And that's still the case with Paul Smith. It's the case with any man. If you catch someone right, they can go. But realistically, Andre Ward's a durable guy. Paul Smith has got, he hasn't got the biggest punch in the world. And I could see Andre Ward completely dominating Paul Smith, potentially being too much and stopping him. But it's a good fight for Paul Smith. I'd certainly take it if I was him. And you never know, it may be the right time to catch Andre Ward. It really may be, because Andre Ward's not getting any younger. He's been inactive for a substantial period of time. He may have ring rust. And Paul Smith, despite the fact he's coming off back-to-back losses, he's probably shown the best form of his career recently. And I can understand, if he's considering his options, does he want a domestic fight with Rocky Fielding? Well, you probably think Fielding's the more likely winner of the two. A Liverpool fight. Or does he want to fight on the world scene in front of Andre Ward, in front of the Globe's audience against Andre Ward, on Andre Ward's first fight for Rock Nation? I get it, and I applaud Paul Smith. I think for me, Andre Ward is such a well-rounded fighter, defensively superb, brilliant on the inside, an excellent sort of amateur, excellent sort of outside game, someone who can jab, someone who can move, someone who can get involved in a rough fight and still look good. For me, Andre Ward is the full package. I guess the one caveat to that is he doesn't have crazy punching power, but despite the fact he's not an absolute one-punch knockout artist, let's not forget, he stopped Chad Dawson. He's got multiple stoppages throughout his career. And we'll see. Maybe Paul Smith can go the distance. Maybe he can even nick a few rounds early with his jabbing and moving and body punching. If Andre Ward's rusty, maybe Smith can do himself justice there. Interesting to see. I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope it gets made. I did a video 2 or 3 weeks ago saying the Marco Antonio Paraban fight was looking likely. Obviously, as a Brit, I'd much prefer to see this. I also, I'd back Paul Smith against Paraban now. When was the last time Paraban won a fight? I don't think Paraban's getting sparked out by James DeGale. I don't think he's performed with as much credit as Paul Smith. I think sometimes in boxing, you serve your time, You spend years fighting in 8-rounders, you spend years fighting on undercards, you spend years battling for domestic titles. Sometimes you deserve success. And success doesn't always come in boxing in the form of long streaks at the top. It doesn't come like it's come to Kell Brook or Carl Frotz, but there are the quieter success stories, the Darren Barkers, the Paul Smiths, you know, and let's see, Paul Smith may never be a world champion, but this fight is going to raise his profile even more, and hopefully he's going to get a good payday out of it. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited to see this? Thanks very much for watching.